When people think of archaeology, they probably think of deep excavations and sifting through material of potential interest with a fine-toothed comb. But this is by no means the whole story. There is another method of unearthing information and artifacts from the past in a non-destructive way, and it's quick, easy to learn and fun to do. It's called field walking. It's a technique that's been used to great effect in the Alkborough area by a team of local volunteers with no archaeological qualifications other than a keen sense of local history. All this work has been done under the watchful eye of Kevin Leahy from the North Lincolnshire Museum, who supervised these field walking projects in the local area.
Well, as an important part of the Alkborough Flats Project, we're trying to involve the community. And this is a community archaeology project involving local people in walking across the countryside, picking up bits of archaeological debris. No one can really understand just how much stuff there's out there. People in this country always seem to be untidy and left a lot of material around for us to pick up. This is quite a mature scheme. The museum's been running community archaeology now for 4 years. But to move into Alkborough is a new departure for us. We certainly haven't been disappointed. Superb response from local people. I mean, everybody's seen the time team and wants to get out there and get involved themselves. And we came upon an absolutely plum site. It's been mind-blowing. The position of everything we find is logged using a satellite location system. We record it to within a metre. What we do is to set out a grid on the field. The field's laid out into 10-metre wide strips running right across the field. That strip's then divided into 4 sections. Everyone's given a bag in which they put the general finds, the bits of blue glazed pottery, bits of flower pot, things like that. Anything that people find that they think is special, any Roman pottery or any work flint, they put a marker cane in. And sometimes after we have run out of marker canes on this site. They put a marker cane in and then we come along later with the GPS and record the precise position where the thing's found. It's going very well. The other thing that's quite gratifying is how quickly people have learned to recognise good material. They recognise Roman pottery, they recognise work flint, rejecting all of the background noise, the unworked flint and the grey limestone, which can look very much like Roman pottery, but none of it's going into the bags. People have learned the difference. It's been very good. As far as finds are concerned, it's been absolutely great. In fact, at some times it's been too great. There's been so much material coming out, it's been difficult to keep up. The most common material we're finding on these fields is Roman grey pottery that's everywhere. But we're also getting some Roman special pottery, some Samian ware, the blue gloss pottery that you get in the 1st and 2nd centuries. That's coming out. Some nice worked flints, scrapers and bits of flint working debris. We're also getting Romano-British building materials, fragments of roofing tile, things like that. This shows that there were quality buildings in this area. We had got some indications from crop marks that have been photographed from the air that there was something going on around here, and it's locking into place in a really gratifying way. Some later materials coming out, we're getting some medieval pottery, which is nice to see, and some very early pottery. We've got some Bronze Age finds here, which has been excellent, really good to see, and then there's Iron Age pottery as well. But we're beginning to understand how the landscape worked, where people were living and when, and it's people discovering their own past. We've had a lot of material, but there's one piece that's outstanding, and that's a fragment of a Roman glass bangle, really pretty, made of glass with trailed coloured patterns laid onto its surface. Not a large piece, but it must have been a beautiful bracelet when it was in use, and someone must have been very unhappy to have dropped it, getting on for 2,000 years ago. But there's a piece there for my people to pick up.
There's another useful technique which helps us to see beneath the soil without excavating it. A geophysical survey enables us to detect tiny variations in magnetic fields using very sensitive instruments. The data is then analysed by computer, and it may well reveal buried walls, pits or ditches, which could in turn point to the existence of structures or artefacts of even greater historical significance. Geophysical surveys and field walking can also provide vital information needed to decide the number and location of any trial trenches that may need to be dug in order to investigate a site in more detail.